You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the Interactive Interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com.
So what you gonna do?
Let me talk to you, dummies.
Oh, yeah.
You're where it's at.
If you're smart like me, you gotta listen.
And if you don't listen to it,
I'll come out of your computer and body slam your ass.
Don't be a Melvin.
I will scar you.
Open your third eye.
Woo! It's gonna be cool. Oh, what a rush.
It's showtime!
We had a lovely conversation.
To the interactive interview. Interactive wrestling radio. The Epicenter.
You knew we had to play that as the intro. Welcome to another edition of InteractiveWrestlingRadio.com. In fact, welcome to one of 3 different editions with this introduction. We have 3 for you this week. We're keeping busy right here at the Wrestling Epicenter. First things first, we have Impact Wrestling star who will be on Under Pressure, the reason for the song, the bed music, if you will. It's going to be Desmond Xavier as he takes on Brian Cage in an X Division Championship qualifier match. Actually, a number 1 contendership match for the X Division Championship. Of course, Xavier defeated Petey Williams on last week's Impact to qualify for this week's match. Going to be interesting to see how he deals with the big man, Brian Cage. We also have from WCW, from the AWA, from Continental, whatever you want to remember him from best. Currently, he's working for MLW. Colonel Robert Parker, the legendary wrestling manager of the Stud Stable, joins us for an exclusive interview. Hope you guys enjoy that one. And tomorrow, we have Tessa Blanchard's Impact Wrestling teleconference. Be sure and check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for not just interviews, but our interview archives is online. You can also check out the store as well as all the great information we have at WrestlingEpicenter.com. Let's get to the interviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Wolverine, the FM Machine, Mr. GMSI, Brian Cage. Here you're checking out Interactive Wrestling Radio.
This week on the Ryan Morrill's Championship Wrestling Hour for Good Boys, the inaugural matches of the Silver Spotlight Tournament, and in our main event, the zesty one, Manny Lemons takes on the monster, Robert Baines. Check your local listings for time and channel.
This is Alicia Edwards, and you're listening to Interactive Wrestling.
Undeniable. Forever.
I got a feeling things is turning up for me now. Stack to the ceiling, money taller than a tree now. Man, I've been winning on winning.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How's the who's covering the trial?
That was me. I was in court yesterday covering the trial.
Did they are they back in today or are they in recess?
Yes, they are back in today. We have Ross Berman, who's another Chicago-based contributor for the site. He's in court today covering it. So we should actually have our morning notes coming out from the trial in the next 5 minutes or so, I think.
Man, I couldn't look away from that last night.
Yeah, it's weird. I went on Memorial Day vacation and I came back on Tuesday and it was like so refreshed and so charged. And I was like, all right, let's get to action. And then the trial broke and I found out I could be there and I was like, all right, let's get into it. I was the only one there.
I thought you'd come back. Oh, wow. Oh, I think I'm going to come back. Okay. It's funny because when Dixie and Billy had their trial, we went. It was open, and there was somebody covering it from some website. But, yeah, he was the only person outside of people with a vested interest that was there.
Yeah, it was weird. You know, it was me, and there was this guy from the Chicago Tribune that was there. And his whole gig is just covering court cases. He's a real investigative journalist. And when he found out that this was just kind of a one-off for me, he kind of took me under his wing and, like, showed me how to present myself in court, you know, what to say and do, how to properly document it and everything. So I got really lucky, I feel like, meeting up with that guy. His name's Greg Pratt.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, man. I would have loved to have been in the Billy trial. That sounds like fun.
It was interesting. Billy wasn't there, but it was certainly interesting to see and hear everything. You know, like because we always heard stuff but didn't really know what was true and not true.
Sure.
So it was interesting.
Well, I used to work for Billy here in Chicago when he ran Resistance Pro.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was a manager. I managed the Almighty Sheik, and so I got to spend a lot of time with Billy. Off the line someday, we could probably have quite a conversation about Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Oh,
Hello.
absolutely.
Hello.
Hey, Ross, you need to take control of this.
Hi. Hello.
Hey, what's up? Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hello. I'm so confused.
We got a party going in here.
Tessa, is that you?
My goodness. This is Tessa.
Yeah, I don't know if Ross is on the line yet. He usually has control of this, so maybe just I don't know.
How Ross gonna schedule a 2 p.m. teleconference and then be late to the teleconference?
You tell him, Tessa.
Dang.
It's all right. We don't need Ross. We can do this on our own, guys.
We're good. Let's do this. We're all mature adults. We can all ask a question quietly.
Who's all in here?
We can do it without him.
Yeah, I mean, who needs Ross anyway?
I need Ross. I'm not going to back
The
down off
best out
Ross.
here.
Who's all in here?
Tessa, it's
The
this is
best
Josh,
out here. Can deal with us.
and it's members of the media, and usually everyone's line is muted, and they have to press a series of buttons to talk. But as of right now, it's a free for all.
There's no muting.
So everybody other than Josh heard my Ross comment then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not good.
We forgot. We weren't listening.
Josh, I feel like you're next in line in command. If you want to take control of this rodeo and kick us off, I feel like that's your call.
Well, hold on a second. I wouldn't be next in line in command over. Like I'm in command of Ross no matter what happens ever anywhere.
Yeah.
So let's just make that clear.
Okay.
Is this live? Like, are people going to be listening to this, or what is this?
This is Tessa. This is just for media. So they all get the number, and they ask questions. I usually start with the first 10 minutes of an update of what's happening in the company. I'm kind of like the press secretary, and then we open it up to questions for me, and then you
The
talk.
press secretary.
We usually stream live on Facebook and YouTube.
We usually stream live on
Press
Facebook.
secretary of Impact.
Yeah, the last month it has been.
If anyone's interested, our reporter in the CM Punk trial just put up his morning notes, so all of the latest details about what happened this morning in that trial are now available on WrestleZone.
Just go to WrestleZone.com. Do we have Raw?
Come inside. Hey, inside. Hey, don't worry.
What is happening tonight?
Hey, calm down.
This is the best conference call I've ever been part of.
What is happening tonight?
What do you guys want me to do? You want me to start the thing or wait for Raw?
I want to hear what's going on.
Hey, guys, I just tried calling Ross's number, and it wasn't picking up.
Be quiet.
Oh, my God, Clint Jacobs.
Sit down.
I think we're going to make a special conf call behind us. All of us.
Who's this? What's your name?
Me, I'm Stephanie from Sitcom Magazine UK.
How are you doing, Stephanie?
Fine. Madison, I hope you enjoyed your piece.
I hope I enjoyed what?
Oh.
No, we did not yell in this household. Be quiet, Gizmo. Sit down.
All right, I'm going to try to call Ross, everyone. Just hang tight.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I just tried calling Ross.
Up.
Let me look at you right now.
Who's that? Who's that?
Jim Barcelone. Hey.
Hey,
One Peter. Ross Bowman.
Stephanie, do me a favor and mute your line, okay? Okay, so who said they called Ross?
Jim Barcelone. Hey.
Hey, Jim. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jim.
Guys, hang on. Just let me talk, please. I just tried calling Russ twice.
Muted.
Hey, guys, we're going to start up this conference call in about 5 seconds. I'm just getting some technical issues worked out. Hey, Josh, are you there?
Yeah, Ross, I've been here for 6 minutes.
You're the best. That's why you are the GOAT. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. Let's just get going here. I apologize to everybody with a little technical difficulties here as we're already up in Canada. But Josh, why don't you bring us up to speed on some of the latest news?
Hello again, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great afternoon. We're just a few hours away now from Under Pressure tonight on Impact at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. You're going to see basically a pay-per-view on television tonight. That's the way Busted Open Radio talked about it earlier this morning when they had Don Callis on their show live. We have a World Championship match. Austin Aries goes one-on-one with Pentagon for the first time ever in a one-on-one match. The Knockouts Championship is on the line. Sue Young versus Ali in a last rights match, only the second last rights match ever. Brian Cage versus Desmond Xavier. The winner of that earns a future X Division Championship match. Scott Steiner and Eli Drake will go one-on-one. Madison Rayne goes one-on-one with our guest on the teleconference this week, Tessa Blanchard. So that's 2 incredible Knockouts matches, some championship matches, and some matches with championship implications. Ross mentioned that he's up in Toronto. He's getting ready for the press conference that'll happen live this coming Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern at Real Sports in Toronto. Public is more than welcome to come and hang out and watch this press conference. There's going to be some news items that come up in that press conference that you won't be able to get anywhere else. And also, Ross is inviting all of you, the members of the press, to be a part of this press conference. All you have to do is record your question on your phone and then email it to Ross. So just the person that you're asking the question to, the talent that will be there at the press conference will be Austin Aries, Moose, Madison Rayne, and a few others will be there. I'll be there, and you can ask your question about Slammiversary that happens live on Sunday, July 22nd. And that press conference will be, again, this Monday at Real Sports in Toronto. Information is at impactwrestling.com. We have our tapings this weekend in Windsor. Tickets are still available for our tapings on Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday is Zero Fear, which is a one-night-only taping. And that one-night-only will air on GWN, I believe, on June 15th, which is a Friday night. So Zero Fear takes place Sunday in partnership with Destiny World Wrestling. Again, ImpactWrestling.com is your place to go for all of that information. So a lot that I just downloaded to everyone. That's what's happening tonight on Impact, and then, of course, over the course of the weekend, and then Monday as we get ready for Slammiversary on the 22nd. So with that being said, Ross, I'll answer some questions now.
All right, we're going to only go just a couple minutes, then we're going to get right to Tessa. So at this point, if you have questions strictly for Josh. As always, please.
Q&A session has started. To ask your question, please press *6.
As always, identify yourself, your media outlet.
Hi, Josh. This is BQ with V2 Wrestling out of the UK and the Impact Lounge podcast here in the United States. So a question was asked of Don Callis last week by my partner, and we didn't really get a clear answer, so I'm going to throw it at you as well. One of the really enjoyable things about watching Twitch, the shows, is that they're heavily moderated. Is there any plans going forward to moderate other channels, such as YouTube and Facebook, where some fans are actually, kind of afraid to engage because they some of the negativity they might come across on there?
I'm not sure I understand the question. You're saying that our Twitch channel is heavily moderated, and you want
It's heavily right. It's heavily moderated. So if there's people in there with ill intent, they're kicked out fairly quickly. Obviously, on a platform like Twitter, you can't block. You don't want to block. That's bad business. But there's platforms like Facebook and YouTube. You can ban people who are specifically there to cause problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's customer service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I think we'll get there with moderating those other platforms, but I just don't think right now we have the, I guess it would be the manpower to have somebody in there moderating each and every comment on every platform, all throughout the day. It's I do that on my own social platforms, right? You delete comments and things like that. It's just harder to keep an eye on that, having like a watchdog 24/7, but it's a good thought because you do want positive comments in there and people talking about the good things that are happening. So I agree with you.
Hey, Tessa, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com here. I'm really interested to hear the negotiation process with Impact Wrestling. How did that get started?
Ross, you had asked that question to Tessa. Do you want to have him get back in the queue, or would you like me to be done now?
Apologies for that. I just hopped on a little late.
That's okay.
I can deliver a question to Josh instead. I would love to.
Go ahead with the.
Josh, I know that there have been some regime changes, but you've been a constant there. Have your roles adjusted with each regime change that you've been through?
Yes and no. With the addition of Anthem, there's more people, and that's a good thing. When it was with Dixie, when people left, we didn't necessarily replace them, so I would just do their jobs at that point. So at the end of the day, I'm doing 45 different things, but I like that in the sense that I know every department of the company. I know what's happening in each area, and I always say I never know what I'm going to do on any given day when I wake up. It's always something different. Today was dealing with Slammiversary tickets and the delivery of those. So for me it's fun, and it's all the wrestling business, right? So I get to talk to creative and talk to Sanjay every day and talk to Kevin Sullivan in production every day. I deal with Ross more than I would like to. So changes, I don't know. I guess so. When I was hired here, I was hired to be the play-by-play announcer, and now I do a lot more than that. So evolution, I think, is a better word than change.
Thank you.
Well, Josh, I know your day is busy. Head up to Canada. We look forward to seeing you. I'll buy you a cup of coffee when you get up here.
Thanks, Ross. I will see you tomorrow. I like Bailey's in my coffee, by the way.
Shocking.
Bye.
All right. Well, with that said, let me move along and welcome our super special guest for today, Tessa Blanchard. Welcome to the Impact Wrestling Media Teleconference. I have to open up your line here, Tessa. Give me 1 second. All right, Tessa, you there?
I'm here.
Thank you so much. I owe you an apology. Thank you very much. We're so excited to talk to you. There's a wide variety of questions. But let me just ask you, your thoughts joining Impact Wrestling?
So far, I really, really love it. The girls in the locker room are all super competitive. They're all very, very talented, so it's a cool locker room to be a part of. Everyone in the back gets along. Everyone wants the best for each other. Everyone pushes each other to be the best that they can be. The producers are all very, very brilliant. I love working with Gail Kim and Jimmy Jacobs. They have really great minds for wrestling. So it's cool to learn from them. Overall, it's just been a really great experience so far.
You bring up the whole locker room, but that is a loaded Knockouts locker room, and there are countless of them. There's probably 8 without question that any night could be the Knockouts champion. Quickly, before we get to questions, how do you size up the locker room?
What do you mean?
I mean, you have yourself, you have Taya, you have obviously Madison Rayne, who's been a 5-time champion. And that hasn't even mentioned Allie and Rosemary and Sue Young and Kiera Hogan. There's a lot of talent in that locker room.
Oh, without a doubt. I've gotten to share the ring with Kiera so far, and tonight I share the ring with Madison Rayne, who has a long history at Impact. Apologies, I have this cough I'm trying to get over. But, like I said, the women in the locker room, they're very talented. They're very gifted. I sat on commentary for Taya versus Kiera, and those are some of the hardest hitting women in professional wrestling right now. So I don't take anything away from that. They're all very, very talented. They're great. They have the looks. They're strong. They're this and they're that. And the one thing that none of them are is Tessa Blanchard. And I think that I bring a whole new dynamic to the Impact Knockouts locker room. So it's very, very exciting to shake things up.
All righty. Well, with that said, we will move along to the media questions. Media, I ask, as always, please, one question and one question alone. Identify yourself and your media outlet. And please don't get back in line until we give you the heads up so we can try to get to everybody's question today. And a limited time teleconference today.
Hi, Tessa. It's James Walsh over at the Wrestling Epicenter. Good to talk to you today.
Good to hear from you, Josh.
All right, so I got a quick question for you. It's going to be about your decision to come to Impact. It seems like as us dirt sheet writers go, we've been reporting on the potential of you going to Impact since before Bound for Glory, and now finally it's happened. What was the process involved with coming on board with Impact Wrestling, and what made the timing right to make that decision to do so?
I think that everything happens for the right reasons at the right time, and with Impact, I think that they've been making strides over the past maybe 10, 12 months, and they've got some of the hottest free agents out there, and they've locked them down, such as Brian Cage, Pentagon, Phoenix, Phantasma, Taya, just some of the best that are out there. And so I thought it'd be, what better place than to have Tessa Blanchard go to Impact Wrestling, right? And since I've been there, sorry, I'm eating. Since I've been there, it's been an adjustment. It's been interesting. It's been fun. It feels right. Let me say that. No matter what decision I make, I usually go with my gut. And in this time, it felt right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Jim Barcelona, MiamiHerald.com. Tessa, just what it's like having the family background and the lineage there, and just talk about if any of the family, either your either Tully or Magnum TA, has given you any advice.
A lot of people ask me this, actually. A lot of people ask me if it's different having a family background or being generational in wrestling. They ask me if it's hard having my dad, my stepdad, my grandpa all be in the business and to carry on their legacy, or if that adds extra stress on me or extra weight on my shoulders. And, it does, and it doesn't. My dad was an original Four Horseman. He is a WWE Hall of Famer, but also, that's been my dad since I was born. That's always been dad to me. He's always been hard on me. He's always expected the best of me. He's always pushed me to be the best that I can be because he knows what I'm capable of, and he believes in me that much. And I say that pressure that it adds, that weight that it adds on my shoulders, I use it to motivate me. because I have huge respect for my grandpa, my dad, my stepdad, and I never want to disappoint them. I always want to carry on our family name with dignity and with respect, but also forge my own path at the same time. So it's all a huge blessing.
Thank you.
Hi, Tessa. This is Nick Hausman from WrestleZone.com. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I just was going to ask kind of as a follow-up to that. You are a legacy talent. There's a couple other legacy names out on the pro wrestling scene at the moment. Are there any other legacy talents that you've maybe bonded with or that you'd like to see alongside you in Impact Wrestling?
Sure. A lot of people ask me, like, what's a dream match for me? And I always say, like, Natalya or Charlotte, because those two women I have huge respect for. And Natty is the only other third-generational woman that I know of. So it'd be really cool to share the ring with her. Rachel Ellering is very talented. Her and I have shared the ring a few times. She's great. She's super talented. I think there's a lot of great generational talents out there. Not as many women as there is males, I believe. But it's cool when I get to share the ring with them because it's kind of like a throwback for us, like view into, like, it's cool to, like, think of, oh, our dads were here, our whoever was here, and then where we are now. It's kind of cool to relate the two.
Cool. Thank you very much, Tessa.
Hi, Tessa. My name is Stephanie from Theatre Magazine in UK. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very fine. One of the great things I love about you is the fact that you're one of the very few women to do intergender matches. And I love that. Can you tell us most about these matches, how you enjoy them, and the opponents you appreciated to wrestle in these intergender matches? Thank you, Tessa.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time?
I was asking you about intergender. I was asking you about intergender matches.
Yes.
Because you're one of the very few women to do some, and wanted to have your opinion on it, your preferred matches, to share that with us. Thank you.
Intergender wrestling. I love intergender wrestling. I think there's a way to do it. I think if it's done the right way, then it's a very beautiful form of art. I've had some of my favorite matches against men. I've fought Brian Cage, A.R. Fox, David Starr, Tracy Williams last week. Some of my most favorite matches have been against guys. In Mexico, me and Flamita tagged against Bandito Jr., who's absolutely amazing, and Lacey Lane. So yeah, some of my most favorite matches have been against men. I think that the way that men think in matches, their speed, their timing, their agility, most of them, it kind of forces me to step my game up in the ring. It forces me to hit a little harder, move a little faster, think a little bit quicker on my feet. And so I think that's why in the past 4 years, I've gotten to where I am today, also mentally in wrestling. And I have that mental strength because I've shared the ring with some of the best men in the industry, in my opinion. And it's forced me to step up my game all around.
Hey Tessa, how are you doing? This is Adik Fir representing Ego Total Channel from Israel. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. First of all, I want to say that I think your debut at Redemption was one of the biggest things at the pay-per-view, and I wish you all the best at Impact. You're welcome. You deserve it. My question is, if you close your eyes for a moment and think of your dream match for the first time your dream match from this women roster for the Impact Women Championship. Who do you think is going to be your opponent and why?
Well, if I'm going just off the Impact roster currently, I think Su Yung just won the title, and I've shared the ring with her before. I think actually we have the same amount of wins and losses against each other, and she's a very hard-hitting, very creepy talent. So it'd be cool to fight her for the Knockouts Championship. But honestly, what I'm hoping is that Madison Rayne gets her shot at that Knockouts Championship. She wins it from Su Yung, and then I get to beat the living crap out of Madison Rayne, much like I'm planning to do tonight. But it'd be cool to beat her for the Knockouts Championship.
Great. Thank you very much.
Hey, Tessa, how you doing? This is Jeff from the High Spot Podcast and highspotpodcast.com. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Jeff?
Good. You're talking about Madison Rayne. Just talk about sizing your opponent and what your game plan will be with her, and just maybe a little scouting report on her and your thoughts on her as a performer.
It's no secret. Like, Madison Rayne's talented. She's been Knockouts champion countless times. She's been the best of the best in the locker room countless times. But what I'm a little bit annoyed about is Madison Rayne showed up, sat behind the commentator's table with her husband, and probably found a babysitter for her kid at home. She sat there during my match, and then after I beat Kiera Hogan, Madison decided to get in the ring and interrupt what I had going on. I'm there to make a statement. I'm there because I believe in myself. I've traveled the world. I've beaten some of the best, and therefore I think I am the best. All right, I came to Impact for that Knockouts Championship, and I'm going to go through every single knockout if I have to get it. But the fact that Madison Rayne helped herself to get in the ring and then interrupt that's where I have my problem. She came at me from behind, pushed me out of the way, and proceeded to do whatever the hell she did, and it really, really irritated me. So honestly, tonight I just can't wait to get my hands on her and show her, like, Tessa Blanchard ain't nobody to mess with.
Thank you, Tessa.
Well, then, Tessa, I should apologize for having Josh on the call earlier.
Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello, Tessa. Sean Rossap of Fightful.com here. I'm curious, is your deal with Impact Wrestling a long-term one, or do you have a little bit more freedom than maybe you would have had you signed there a couple of years ago?
I'm actually not under contract of any kind right now. We're actually in negotiations right now. So no matter what people say online, believe half of what you see, half of what you read, and that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Kevin from India. Hi, Tessa. So I wanted to ask you, if you had the chance to create a 4-women stable in Impact, who would you want as your stablemate?
Pardon?
If you Tessa, it's very difficult to hear the question, but I think he's asking you, if you could create a stable of wrestlers within Impact, who would you want within your stable?
Honestly, I have no interest in creating a stable of any kind. Like I said, I'm there for one reason, and that's to come after the Knockouts Championship, and that's not going to come from having people on my side. I can do it on my own, and if I have to run through the entire Knockouts locker room, former Knockouts champion like Madison Rayne, then I'll do so on my own.